So in this section, we will be talking about how to implement a naive base for a text classification. In fact, naive base is commonly used for text classification in various applications like spam emails, classifying text, maybe news, right? You want to classify whether it's a politics related news, sports related news, lifestyle related news. So in general, wherever the text classification play a role, naive base works really good. And we will learn that how basically this is being done. In order to understand this, I'm going to take an example which I will be walking you through. And in this example, we will have some sort of document where it will be consisting of something and we will be having a class related to it, something like this. So let's say I would say TechLove is a great educational institute. Okay, let's say this is one of my case. Now in this case, if I have to define a class for it, so the class is going to be for this education, right? Or if I have second thing, let's say Bahubali is a good movie. Now this class, if I have to define, it's going to be cinema. So let's say I have multiple documents like this and I do have a class being attached with this. So, and there are only two class possible. It's a binary classification problem, let's say, that it can be either an education or a cinema. And based on that, we need to define, basically, we are going to use naive base and predict that whether it's a education document or it's a cinema related document. That's what we're going to do in the further case. So we will take a small example and completely work out this example by hand, and we will see that how a simple case like this, naive base works quite well. So let's see that how we can achieve this. So in order to understand this, you can see that let's say we have some data set. Let's say you can see that this is one document. TechLove is a great educational institution, and this class is education for it. Similarly, educational greatness depends on ethics. That is also education. A story of great ethics and educational greatness. This is also an education related document. We have Sholay is a great cinema. This is a part of cinema class. Good movie depends on good story. This is also a cinema part, right? So let's say this is the data set what we do have in this case. Now, what we are, as I said, what we want to do from this data set is we would like to figure out that if I give you a new document, it should tell me whether it's a cinema or it belongs to education. So this is what the part. You can again relate it to like the same way you would be able to expand this example for whether an email is going to be spam or non-spam, right? Something like that you can relate. Now, so what I'm going to do as a next step would be I will take up all these words. Basically, you can, if you go back and see here, there are a lot of words being present. Like tech love is one word, great is another word, is another word, a is another word, educational is another word, institution is another word. So there are a lot of words being basically a part of this, right? Now, if I come here and basically look at this, so what I have done, I pull up all the words which is available in my document, which talks about all the 4 5 rows. Now, one important thing while working on it, definitely this is a part of NLP, which is a huge topic in itself. But here, basically, what we generally do when we get this word, we would like to remove some very commonly occurring word. For example, is, an, a, the. Now, these kind of words definitely is not going to tell any significance whether it's a cinema or it's going to be education, right? Because if you think about it, we are passing this document to an algorithm, and for an algorithm it may not make any sense to use those stop words. So we call these as stop word, is, and, a, the, are, these kind of words. So in our part also you can see that we have and, right, is, of, on. These are called as stop words. These are not going to impact my final prediction. So these are stop words. I'm going to subtract these two and I will be left with this. So I will have cinema, depends, educational, ethics, good, great, greatness, institution, movie, Sholay, story, tech love. So these are the word I am now left with after I have removed all these things. Now the third thing is I'm gonna draw a bag of word representation. What I mean by bag of word representation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plot a matrix like this. So I have basically 5 rows, right? If you recall from here, I had 5 rows, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you look at this, like we have a third one where it is written, Sholay is a great cinema. So let me explain you how we're gonna work it out in this case. So let's say I'm gonna write it down here. Sholay, sorry, Sholay is a great cinema. Okay. Now, if you remember, this was which document? Let's go back and see. So Sholay was sitting at third one, right? So 3. So let's go and see the 3 part. This is the 3 part. I could also do the same thing for 4, but let's go with 3. So now what I'm basically doing in this case, I got almost like 12 words in the last, right? After I remove stop word. So I will put each word into my column. Like cinema is one word, so I will create a column for it. Depends is another word, I will put a column for it. Educational is one word, I created a column by this. So we will create a column by all this. Now what I'm going to do, so let's say I'm talking about this part. So I will see this cinema is occurring in this or not. So it is occurring, yes. So how many times it's occurring? 1. So I will put 1 here. Depends is occurring? No, 0. Educational is occurring? No, 0. Ethics? 0. Good? 0. Great? Yes, great is occurring here 1 time. So I will put the value 1. Similarly, look at this part. Greatness? No, no. Sholay? Yes. Sholay is a part of it. And these two are stop words, so it's of no use. So like this, we will create a matrix. Can you notice here, I have 2 things coming up for good. So let's look at the fourth one and see that whether good is occurring 2 times there or not. So in order to do this, let's go and quickly verify. So here for the last one, can you see good movie depends on good story. So good is occurring 2 times. That's the reason in the last part you are saying good is written as 2. So this is what is also called as bag of words representation, which we do it in the form of a metric here. Now the last part is we will create a metric out of it. So what we will do here is we will create like cinema and all this part, and for education, whatever words we had, we created a metric separately for it and we put all the data. Similarly for cinema also we created a metric, because remember there were 5 total, so I pulled out 3 from education, which belongs to education, and I pulled out 2 from cinema, which belongs to cinema for me. Now what I will do, I will count that how many total are occurring in this. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there are total 13 occurrences of word when I talk about education. Similarly, we can count here for cinema 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So I put 8 here. And even I count for the column wise also. If you want, you can count it up and then you can do a count. So this is what we have just represented here. And now after we have done this, we will see that how we can utilize this metric and come up with some very interesting results using NiceBase.